The Doonhamers, the Pars, the Gers. Have you ever wondered where any of those names come from? Well, you probably haven't wondered about the last one, it's pretty obvious. But there's a lot of exciting football nicknames in Scotland, so let's talk you through some of those. I'm Keith, here in my glorious 1992 to 94 home Dunfermline shirt, the one that looks a little bit like a paint can exploded, to chat you through the nicknames of the first 21 teams alphabetically in the Scottish Professional Football Leagues. Aberdeen, they're known as the Dons, partly because of the river that runs through the city and from the university, with Don being a teacher, so they were the teacher. The other interesting nickname is the Sheep, because everyone knows there's a lot of sheep up near Aberdeen. That was chanted at them by everyone else first, but they took it on themselves, chanting the sheep are on fire when Aberdeen were playing particularly well. But apparently that also came from rival fans after a tale of an Aberdeen fan accidentally setting another Aberdeen fan on fire. The one set on fire was dressed as a sheep in a homemade costume. Airdrieonians are known as the Diamonds due to the red diamonds that appear on their shirts, and they have done ever since 1912. Albion Rovers, who get their name for being an amalgamation of Albion FC and Rovers FC, are called the Wee Rovers, because even they know that they're diddy. Alloa Athletic are the Wasps, because they've played in black and gold since 1947. Annan Athletic are also the Black and Golds, because they play in the same colours as Alloa. And the Galabankies, because they play in Galabank. Arbroath are sometimes known as the Smokies, because they're the local fishy delicacy, but also the Red Lechies, which is for the red light that used to guide ships into the harbour, not for the red light that some of the ladies around the harbour would put on. Ayr United are known as the Honest Men, thanks to the line in Tam O'Shanter, "Auld Ayr, where never a tune surpasses, for honest men and bonny lasses." Berwick Rangers have got quite a few names, the Black and Golds, because that's what they play in, the Borderers, due to being in England, and of course the Wee Gers, to distinguish them from that other Glasgow team or something. They also call themselves the Dream Team, because there is no higher accolade in football than playing for Berwick Rangers. Brecon City are known as the City, despite the fact that Brecon is not a city. Apparently we don't do that with cathedrals anymore. Celtic obviously have the Celts and the Hoops, but are also the Boys with an H in it. Originally from promotional material calling them the Bold Boys, they changed the spellings to Bold with a U in it and Boys with an H in it to more reflect the Irish Gaelic roots of the club. Clyde are known as the Bully Wee, but nobody's got a concrete answer as to why. Some folk just reckon it's because the folk from Bridgeton are a bit rough. Others say it comes from the Victorian definition of bully, meaning good or top rate, because they were a wee club that was good. But the third and final theory is that some French spectators were over watching Clyde in the start of the 20th century. They were confused by one of the goals that had been allowed and remarked, "Boutilly oui?" as in, their goal, yes, and that was misheard as Bully Wee, and the name stuck. Cowden Beath go by either halves of their name, Cowden or Beath, and were also known as the Miners back when that was an industry that actually existed. They're now known more commonly as the Blue Brazil, because the fans at the Fife Maracana are obviously a bit optimistic. Dumbarton are known as the Suns, which is short of Sons of the Rock, which is a name for anyone from Dumbarton. In fact, their current ground is right underneath Dumbarton Rock, the Cheaper Insurance Direct Stadium, which has got to be the second worst sponsorship name in Scottish football, probably to the Tony Macaroni Arena in Livingston. Dundee are either known as the Dark Blues or the D's. Dundee United are known as the Tangerines for the orange, the Terrors because they were a bit rough back in the 60s, and sometimes the Arabs. Story goes that after a heavy snowfall one year, they got tar burners in to burn off the snow. It took the grass with it and they had to put a lot of sand down to make it playable. Dundee United won that day 3-0, so they took to the sand like Arab. Dunfermline are known as the Pars, everybody agrees on that, but what people don't always agree on is how that name came about. Some of the more boring ones are that they play in parallel stripes and that when they were promoted into the league they put them on a par with other teams. Some older fans say it has to do with young salmon, which have dark vertical stripes and are known as Pars. Others say it's due to the Plymouth Argyle Rosyth Supporters Club, which used to come to games with banners. And the final theory is that Dunfermline's play was just a lot like their drinking. They were paralytic. East Fife are known as the Fifers, or even just Fife, and East Stirlingshire are the Shire. Elgin City also go by City, despite the fact that Elgin is not a city either. Falkirk are the Bairns, meaning kids, and it comes from the town's mottos, "Better to meddle with the deil himself than the bairns of Falkirk," meaning that people from Falkirk are literally worse than Satan. And finally, for this half, Forfar Athletic, who are known as the Loons. That's nothing to do with them being daft, it's just that the team itself came from Angus FC, but it was their original second 11 that split off, and that tended to have younger players. Even though that's only us up to F in the alphabet, that's actually half the teams in Scotland. I'll be back next time with teams like the Gable Endies, the Dossers, and the Cabbage, so join me for that later on. My god, I'm so bad at this.